To part 3 of I watch silly Disney movies. Time for Cinderella 3, not 2 because... Did I just turn it off? No, I didn't. Not 2 because I wanted to see the one scene where the prince, no joke, just jumps out the window. Yeah! Welcome to Cinderella 3. So we start with like a recap of what happened against Cinderella 1, where someone's like, oh yeah, I have my happily ever after and all that stuff. And then the sisters with Anastasia and whatever the other sister's name is. Anastasia's really important. And they're like, I'm tired of doing chores, Mom. Yeah, this is boring. I wish Cinder was here because she was the one that always did the chores. And they're complaining about all of that. So yeah. But the mom was like, oh, okay. So Anastasia goes off from doing chores because she doesn't want to really do it because she just wants a happy ending. Like, she just straight up wants a happy ending. So she sees Cinderella and the Princey Pooh over there, just like, I think his name was Prince Charming, but he's going to be called Princey Pooh, with fairy godmother, and Anastasia's like, oh man, I really wish I could have that. And then about grandma, she calls her... It's adorable. Anastasia actually calls her grandma. It's adorable. It's like, wait, she has a magic wand. Maybe she might have a spare magical wand, so I can use it. And so Anastasia takes the one that my great grandma fucking drops. How are you gonna drop the wand, by the way? So she's like, hey, mom, look what happened. It does this. It's like Billy, Bobby, Billy, Sobby, like, no, Billy, Bobby, Boo. And like, what a grandma's like, no, wait, honey, you can't use that. I was like, wait a minute, I want to use that. I just want to have like Billy, Bobby, Boo. And freezes grandma. And then I was like, oh, so how do we do it? And like, stepmom was like, hold up, wait a minute. We can change the history. So grandma's like, now mama's like, okay, time to change the history. Make sure poor little Cindy never sees Ritzy Who, Baby Polly, and Boo Bit. Now she really bobs with the whole history until she like the shoe fitting, and now in the church it's like, oh. And now they make the shoe fit in the center now because they paint that and they imagine that. And Princey is like, are you sure this is the right one? I mean, like, I didn't know, like, a lot of girls could wear this shoe. And it's like, oh, well, Princey doesn't seem to like it. But I was like, don't worry. I got this Billy Bobby Boo, and Princey's now mind control to love Anastasia, but he also doesn't really because Anastasia doesn't have that same feeling of hand, doesn't have, like, that same feeling of grace. And he's like, okay. Which, by the way, like, I kind of get why Cinderella is, like, singer songs. Like, I wanted this happily ever after, but if you don't think about the fact that she had a halfway ever effort and was another word like kind of torture and stuff, like you like take all that context, Cinderella seems kind of like a bee because she's like, oh, my sister could be happy but I'm miserable and I kind of deserve it and I'm gonna prove it to him I was the one that danced with him, not my sister, because screw her. That's like, without all the other content or what is going on, you kind of see like a bee. I'm sorry, Cindy, I had to think it. You seem kind of like a butt. So she's going over here bringing in coming the local mouse catcher as like Anastasia is like trying to set up her wedding, and her mother is like, look, I don't care if he loves you or not. We are just here to beat Cinderella and for the prince. It's like, then why didn't you choose Anastasia? She wants the real love. Choose the other one who don't give a heck. I was like, that's why we want. We can choose that one. Don't choose the one who wants love. Anyway, so now all that happened, and the king is like, I love the king, because this is where you kind of learn more about, like, Prince Pooh's Princey Pooh's mom, and she always stepped on the king's toes, and the king, like, has this soft spot for Ancestors, which I actually love, because, like, in the older, like, the first movie, like, I know they didn't think about that in plan for, like, in the sequels and stuff, but remember, you don't really get much. What is the king? But like you kind of get this. It's like I kind of love that he has this like soft spot for Annie, because she's like, yeah, my wife used to step on my toes. My wife had like a strange dance. She was like, all of this. It's like you, and it's like you also see the queen. It's like she looks very similar to actually Anastasia, with like the hair color and how she's kind of had the hair dress and how she walks. Then actually Cinderella, which is like actually like cute to note. Anyway, so now Annie's doing all of this, and Cinder's like, well, how am I going to prove that the princess? And the mom was like, this maid is a thief. She is delusional. Send her to the harbor. Deliver her somewhere else. Take her to America. I don't know. Just get out of here. Get out. Out. So now that's having the princess like, oh my God. I know whom I love. I'm in love with the handmaid. So he gets his horse, and one of his dad's like, please don't leave the wedding. I need something from my heart, and my heart cannot handle it. I am about to get excommunicated soon. The princess like running over now and is like, Cinder, wait. Went on his horse. It's like, Cinder, please. Cinder. He fucking destroys the boat's sail. So then he could go down and scratch them and say, Cinderella, I love you. It's like, will you marry me? Which once again, let me remind you, Princey Boo, you have a wedding. It's like you can't just go say that. So you are technically, even though you were mind control, kind of cheating. You were kind of cheating. I know it's the same thing, but I know it's like you were mind control, so you weren't willingly doing it. So it's like you were like that momentarily. You were kind of cheating, like momentarily, kind of cheating when you just like, can you marry me? Because you're always kind of married right now. But anyway, so now they go siege the family, and then now Cinderella's now getting married to Prince Pooh, like history always had to be, and now it's like, don't worry, Cinderella, we're gonna really get running more. So mother comes in, it's like, we're gonna really get running more. Hey Annie, you looks like Cinderella, get married. And now Annie's over here, it's like, I'm sorry, Cinder. It's like, Annie, do you even love him like that? It's like, and mother's like, color Anastasia. I was like, no, she loves him. Get out, Cinderella. So they go and lock up Cinderella, tell her somewhere else. And Cinderella's like, I gotta get to my wedding. I'm not gonna miss my marriage. So Annie is now like kind of going down to marry the prince, but having full second thoughts because she wants love. She wants someone to love her at her, not love her because they're forced to love her, not love her like looking like Cinderella. She wants someone to just love her as her. So now she's doing this. Emma's like, and she's like, went to somebody else. Emma's like on the very edge, and it's like, and Emma was like, well, do you take your Princey Pooh as your Princey Pooh? And she's like, I don't. The game about how stroke now. the piece falls over. So it was like, I'm not your princess. This is your princess over here. And her mom was like, Annie, how can you do this? What kind of miserable fool are you? You are giving up the one chance of your lifetime because you want true love? Woman, I married for money. Who are you? Who raised you? Not my kid. Anyway, so now they all defeat the queen. They defeat stepmother and the other sister. And then it's like, and then Gay revive the grandma. It's like, hey, you guys want to go back your timeline? It's like, what timeline? It's like, you know what, never mind. Everyone's happy this way. So yeah, that happens. And that's Cinderella 3. But personally, my favorite scene is when the dad says, and it's like, I forbid you to take one more step down here. And the prince looks at the mirror with his smug face, goes, okay, and jumps out the fucking window. That is still my favorite scene from that movie. That is my favorite scene from that movie.